Hey, it's Alan Christian. All right, what's the number one question that I'm getting every day, multiple times a day? Do you know what it is? Now, first off, look in the background. Why am I in my shed in the backyard? Because we're in a different world right now. I'm at home and I got 4 kids and they're running all over the house and I couldn't find a halfway quiet place. So I had to come to the shed. So this is not perfect circumstances, but we're not in a perfect world right now. So, hey, here's the number one thing. You need to know this. You need to share this with your friends. And it is about forbearance. What does that mean? If you've not had it happen to you yet, I hope you don't lose your job. But if you have any potential chances you don't even know, or maybe you have a family or friend that may go through this, you need to know this. And you also need to know this for people that are renting homes or your friends that are renting. We are in different times right now, and I want you to understand that I lived and survived through 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, and on when the last crash that took place where economic fall apart. So here's what's happening. Literally, guidelines are being changed by the hour. Remember the health care bill, Nancy Pelosi? Go ahead and pass it, and then we'll figure out what's in it. Well, that is what's happening right now. New guidelines are coming out literally could be a couple of times an hour. And once they're put out for potential loan guidelines, they don't even know how to interpret them. So even though you hear about it, you may not know how the banks understand or how to actually accept it. This is vital. So below here, I've got some information related to forbearance, but you need to understand this. Unless you call your servicer and get it in writing and understand exactly what's there and what has been accepted, if you miss your payment and you have not qualified for forbearance, it will be a ding. It'll show a late payment on your mortgage. So if you're having a problem, and if you can make your payment, you need to make your payment. But if you can't, and you're concerned and truly don't have the money, call your current servicer. Talk to them about a forbearance. Get it in writing. Do not take the person's word over the phone, because they may tell you something that sounds great and what you thought it was. Then you don't make your payment, and all of a sudden you call back in and they're not working there anymore and they don't remember that. So get it in writing, get it accepted. And until you get it accepted, you better make your payment, because before, when this happened, you don't know for a fact that they're going to allow you to do a forbearance. You've got to actually qualify. And there's a list on here. They don't even know how to interpret it yet. So you don't know for sure if you'll qualify. There were folks before, the last time this happened, they thought they were going to get a deferment, get a forbearance, and then wound up not getting it. And all of a sudden they had all these late payments on it. So be sure you reach out, because they do not know how to do it right now. So be sure you stay on top. Now, here's the thing. Typically on a forbearance, it's not supposed to affect your credit at all. That's a clarification. I was on the phone with about 7 different banks yesterday when this all was coming about, and I'm talking high up the chain. They didn't even know how to interpret it. Most of them say if you are 5 or 6 months, they're flat out just going to stop the payments. It's not supposed to show on your credit report as a late payment at all. Once it's finished, though, you're going to owe that money. It is not free money. So the thing that's also not clear is you're going to start making your payments again. But if you're $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 behind on payments, how are you going to pay that back? Does it have to be paid off? You have to get caught up over the next 12 months to 36 months, 10 years? You don't know that. If you decide to go in and refinance, one bank says you cannot refinance that mortgage and pay off the forbearance. You have to pay it in full before you refinance. There's another bank that says we think we'll allow it. So once again, nobody knows, because it's so new, on what's going to actually happen. So you may get a stay for 4 or 5 months. Now here's the next one. They may allow that for folks with mortgages. If you're renting, listen to this. If you're renting, there may be something about not allowing people to be evicted right now. And for all of my friends that have rental property, they're already getting notices. Well, hey, I can't make my payment. Understand this. There may be a stay on mortgages, but if you don't pay your rent and you're 3 or 4 months behind, and then this is all lifted, well, understand, you're going to owe that. And if you're typically renting on a 12-month window, most landlords, they're going to want that thing paid back, or they're probably going to evict you, because if you've got a 12-month window and you owe $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, most people can't come up with that in 12 months. So the landlord knows they're going to get stuck with that money. They may be gracious, and if you don't pay your rent, then they may not be able to pay the mortgage. And typically, they'll probably work with you. But just know, if you miss it for 3 or 4 months and then they lift this eviction, they may come back and then say, hey, I'm sorry, you owe all of this, and you may get evicted. So just know this is not free money. There are ramifications. Now, they may come in on a mortgage and add it on the back end. And just literally you miss 4 or 5 months, and then you start making your regular payments. And then once you go to sell your home down the road, you're just going to owe that difference. But if you want to come in and refinance and you owe $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, what if you have to write a check for that? And if you can't refinance. But what if you've got a 5.5% or 6% interest rate and you needed to refinance and your payment's going to go down $350, whatever, or more, but you can't do it because of the forbearance. So just know, this is not free money. This is not easy. There are cause and effects that's going to take place, but more importantly, please know there are things being put out by politicians right now. There's things being mentioned and said by the banks. And literally, I have the guidelines here from about 7 different banks that I've gone through. They don't even know how to interpret the rule that was released an hour ago. It's something brand new. So please be aware. Now, if you're having a true hardship, you're not sure, you should reach out to me. Maybe a refinance will benefit you. It may be that we come in and refinance, pay off some debt, free up some payments, and help you with your budgeting. So a refinance may be a benefit for you. And do it before you potentially lose your job. Do it before you have a credit ding from a potential late payment. So this is very, very important to be aware of. We're in different times right now. And just know things are being put out that they don't know the answer to. And we're figuring it out literally hour by hour. And there can be changes that rapidly. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. We're in trying times. Once again, we're going to get through this. There's blessings amidst the adversity going on right now. And be kind to your neighbor, be kind to your family, your friends. We're all in this trying to work it through, and we will recover. So thanks again. I'm Alan Christian, your friend, your neighbor, your personal lender. Look forward to talking to you. Thanks again.